Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. Today's video is on my last mammogram that I got about a month or two ago. My yearly mammogram that I normally get, because the last mammogram that I had, they found a mass in my left breast. So I just did my yearly mammogram and the results were not that great again. So this time it's my right breast, and actually today is future because I already did my biopsy for that mammogram. But what they did was they found calcification in my right breast this time. So the first time it was a mass in my left, this time it was calcification in my right breast. I asked a lot of questions like I normally do, and come to find out, my right breast, the calcification was already there, but it was tiny. It wasn't enough for them to like wave that red flag and say, we need to get this tested, we need to get a biopsy done. It wasn't there yet. A year later, it grew, and so now they're a little bit worried, and they're like, you know what? It's probably better if you do a biopsy in your right breast. It's a cluster of calcification. I think they said about 10, and it's the size total, all of it, the size of a dime. So from there I said, you know what, like when it comes to health, I don't play. If you're saying I should get a biopsy more so than not so, we're going to do it. So I scheduled my biopsy. I literally had it yesterday. So today is Friday, but I had it yesterday on Thursday. It's totally different. So from my first biopsy, they did a ultrasound guided biopsy for my mass. The mass came out negative and benign. So the mass on this side, good. This side, when they did the calcification, it was totally different. They had me, the mammogram machine, they had me clamped in that. I didn't look. They preferred me close my eyes, and I preferred to close my eyes too. So I kept my eyes closed the whole time. But you're literally clamped in the machine, so you can't really move. You're in this uncomfortable position where you're leaning forward, right, because your boob is clamped in the machine, and your butt is against the chair, but you're leaning forward because you really can't move because you're clamped in, right? And so you're clamped in. They start with some anesthesia, so they use lidocaine. I asked for lidocaine without epinephrine because epinephrine just makes me shaky, makes my heart race. It makes me feel crazy. So I'm like, please don't use epinephrine, just use the lidocaine and I should be okay. So she used the lidocaine, numbed the area, then she does deeper numbing, and then you kind of just wait a little bit. It's pretty instant, the lidocaine, and you don't really feel much because they're already clamping your boob. So like there's pressure. At least I didn't feel the lidocaine numbing. And then you kind of wait, and she'll talk you, or he'll talk you through the whole process as it happens. It's pretty quick. You start off taking photos at first. I'm sorry. You start off with photos, then they clamp you in the machine, then they numb, right? Because they want to make sure that they're on the right boob. It is where it says it is and where to locate it. Then they clamp you, they numb you. And then from there, she lets you, or the tech will let you know, or the doctor will let you know. The machine will give medication as needed. And then you'll hear like a champagne cork pop sound. And I believe that's when she was taking the sample. I was talking to one of the nurses to kind of distract me while the doctor was doing her thing. So I'm trying to remember as best as I can what was going on, like step by step. But we were kind of just like chatting, and that really honestly works. So if you have a good nurse, oh, God bless you, because my nurses were great. My tech, the mammogram radiology tech, and the nurse was great. They both were like talking to me, and the doctor was very patient, very kind, and she walked me through every step. She let me know before she did everything. So I had an amazing experience, an amazing team. They do their thing where you hear the champagne pop. Then she leaves the room. She's going to go take it and put it under a microscope to make sure she got what she needs and enough of what she needs. That way they don't have to bring you back to do it all over again. She came back. She was like, okay, we got everything we needed. Now we're going to put in a marker, right? So I have a marker on my left breast. Now I have a marker on my right because I already did my procedure yesterday. So both are marked so that they know the next time we do a mammogram, those areas have been checked and they're marked. That's why it's called the marker. It marks the area. And so she put the marker in. And that was it. And then she said, okay, we're gonna take the pressure off. They took everything off. They put pressure on the area, and I'm a bleeder, so I'll bleed for a while. She probably changed the gauze about 4 times. Like, it was a lot. So put the gauze on, and she kind of held pressure for a while, like at least 5 minutes, because I was bleeding and there was kind of blood everywhere. So just fair warning, don't freak out if you're a bleeder like me. Like, they make you tuck one of those the only thing I can think of is like a puppy pad. It's kind of like, but it's for humans, of course. You tuck it into your pants, so in case the blood runs down, it'll capture the blood on that padding. And then there was blood like on me and then below my boob. So don't freak out. Totally normal, right? Because they are digging in that area and moving things around and stamping and then putting things in. So there's going to be a little bit of blood. She held pressure for a while, wiped up the area, and then she put some, I guess they're like, she taped it up. I always think of it like the butterfly tape. So it's just a few pieces. It actually looks like a star to kind of stop the bleeding and close up the area. And then they'll put like a plastic piece over it, like a sticky piece with a gauze underneath to collect the remaining blood that might leak out. And I still did have blood leak out even after I left. You take that off before you go to bed, so don't forget that. And that was pretty much it. They bandaged me up. They made sure I was okay, made sure I was not dizzy or anything before I got up, and I walked out. Honestly, from when I first stepped in and they had me sign all the paperwork, and then when I finally did the procedure, from beginning to end, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. It's pretty quick. The procedure itself was maybe like 5 minutes. But of course, you gotta gown up and you gotta sign paperwork and you gotta do all the precursors. Then you do all the things and you put your clothes back on and you leave. So it was less than an hour for me from beginning to end. It was very different from my first mammogram. The first mammogram to me was a little more comfortable because you are laying back in a bed and having it done that way. Where was I? This way. Having it done that way. But this one was like very uncomfortable because your boob is being crushed. And yes, you're numb, but then you're in this awkward, like weird position. But it wasn't too long. It wasn't too bad overall. They had me come home and be a couch princess. So that was nice. My kids made dinner. My husband helped out. And then, I pretty much just relaxed. We went to have lunch after the procedure, came home. My kids and husband did all the things. And then I decided to take off today. Today is the day after. So I took off yesterday for my procedure and I took off today as well. This was definitely a lot more sore or achy than this side. This side wasn't too bad, but I was really cautious. This side is definitely more achy and more sore. Like yesterday, even after the icing, because they will send you home with ice, it was still a little bit achy and yeah, like sore. They sent me home with 4 ice packs. So you want to ice it 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes till it's gone, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. And then just take it easy. Try not to use your arm. Try not to do much. Try not to, just relax. I took a small nap in the car when my husband went to his appointment. Like, I came home and I just sat on the couch. I actually laid down on the couch and just put my foot up and just relaxed. So, not too bad overall. They will give me my results in 5 to 7 days. So I'm waiting for that. And yeah, I will wait till I get my results in 5 to 7 days before I post this video. So the next time you see me, it will be in 5 to 7 days when I get my results, and I will share my results with you guys. So yeah, I'll see you in 5 to 7 days. Okay guys, so I'm back. I got my results. It came at about day 8 from the point of me doing my procedure, my biopsy. I have good and bad news. Okay, so good news is it's not cancer. The bad news is my new diagnosis is called ADH, so Atypical Ductal Hyperplasia. It just means there's a group of rapidly growing cells that are atypical, right? So they're not typical cells, they're atypical, so not the normal type of cells, and they can become cancerous. it's a lot of information, so I'm sorry I didn't get this video out sooner. It's Saturday today, so I did some processing of the information because it was a lot of information. And at that point, when I spoke to the nurse, I didn't have questions at that point. Now I have questions, so I'm writing everything down and I'm going to call them and see if they can answer my questions further. But she did give me a lot of information. I have an appointment coming up with a surgeon, I guess, to see where we go from here and if they need to do further digging in the area to get out the rest of the cells. Because even from what the nurse told me, I did my own digging, right, to get more information, because they give you information, but they give you very bare minimum information. What I gathered was, now that I have these cells that were found, now that I have ADH, I am 4 times more likely to develop breast cancer. So my risk goes up really, really high, but it was something like incrementally, your risk gets higher and higher. I've been looking around at other people's accounts and videos of their experiences, and it seems like it's a mix of information depending on your case, right? Not everybody's case is going to be like one person. You are your own person, you are your own body. So the outcome of your appointment, I guess, with the surgeon is going to be different from the next person. I totally get that. But I want to know what the options are, right? I don't want to go in this blindly. That's just not me. I want to understand what the risks are and how I can help myself at this point. If you don't already know, like I said in the previous part of this video, I exercise 5 days a week. I do cardio 5 days a week. I eat really, really clean. Lately, I've been eating homemade chocolate chip cookies, which has sugar. And if you know, sugar is very inflammatory. And cancer cells literally love sugar. It gobbles up sugar. So I think from here on out, I'm going to cut sugar completely back out of my diet, because I stopped eating it at one point and then I added it back in because it wasn't causing obvious adverse reactions, and I needed to add more calories since I'm on a calorie surplus. But you know, when it comes to the C word, when it comes to cancer, like, it gets even more scary. And I'm not one to sit around and wait around and be like, I'm fine, you know, like, I'm not saying that I'm having like sleepless nights, because I'm sleeping well. I'm not stressing about it. I'm the type of person that's very proactive. So what I'm going to do is research, dig, and then figure out what I can do as a preventative measure so this doesn't get worse. That's it. My family's worried because they're like, you're all day long, you're just looking up videos and watching podcasts. And I'm like, guys, relax. I know what I'm doing. I know my body and I know my brain. I'm not stressed. I sleep well at night. I am functioning perfectly fine. I have doubts and reservations in the back of my mind, but at the same time, I want to know what I'm getting myself in, what my body is getting me into, and what I can do as preventative measures. That's it. I'm not like going all crazy and off the deep end, and it's not like that for me. I'm just trying to help myself, if that makes sense. And so April 8th is my appointment with that surgeon. They're going to go over my family history and what they found in the mammograms and what they found in the biopsies, talk about all those things, and then give me my options from there. I'm not sure if what they found is considered significant in size. I'm not sure, but I know he said there's 10 spots, but total is the size of a dime total, all the dots, all in one cluster. Excuse me. Ductal means it's within the breast ducts, like where the milk is, milk ducts. And yeah, I'm still doing a lot of research. So do your research. Even though you hear one portion from the nurse, go out and gather information and find out a little bit more about it, so you get a better understanding and you can sleep better at night. Bottom line for me is my risk for breast cancer is 4 times the amount it was before they found these cells, or you know what I mean. Before the cells were there, my risk is now 4 times as high. And as it still sits in my body, and as I get older, my risk grows as well. So I think from what I've read so far is the goal is to get those cells out of your body, but there is a chance that the cells can regrow somewhere else. So it's a slippery slope. And like I said, right now it's good news, but it's bad news because there is no cancer, thank goodness. But finding those cells was not exactly good information either. So I'm just going to end the video here. If you're going through this as well, I'd love to be friends. I'd love to be in touch with people that have gone through it or are going through it. There's power in numbers, and education is a great, education is power. So the more we know, the better prepared we can be to fight whatever this is or preserve whatever life we have left. Not to sound morbid, but you guys get it. So I'm just going to end the video here. I might wait until my April 8th appointment. It's still March right now. Yeah, it's still March. My appointment's in early April. I might just wait until then before I post the video, and then maybe even bring you guys along with me on that appointment, and then we can see from there where it goes. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up in surgery, but we shall see. And hopefully it's not a mastectomy, because that scares me. Because I did see, I'm laughing to hide from the but I've seen other people, and I'm not sure how bad it was for them as far as the growth. They had to get mastectomies, remove both. Some just did surgery, some ended up mastectomy and medication, some was just medication, some did like they went in and did like a lumpectomy. That's another option too, but I guess we'll find out April 8th. So I'll probably bring you guys back and bring you guys with me on that appointment day. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the appointment. Hi. So I'm back. I know I'm late, you guys. Okay, my timeline has been skewed. There's a lot that went on in the last few weeks in our life. I got this diagnosis. My husband's truck caught on fire, literally with him in it. And then our dog passed away. Our baby dog. So a lot's been going on. I'm sorry this is delayed by a lot. I did my appointment with my surgeon, and it was pretty much like a I don't want to say pre-op, but it was pretty much an appointment, sorry, to let me know that I needed surgery and that I needed to call the appointment hotline to have my surgery scheduled. So that's pretty much what it was. I thought it was like he was going to let me know what they found and give me more info and talk about options, but it doesn't sound like I have much options. Now that we know it's atypical ductal hyperplasia, or ADH, it's pretty much got to come out of my body. Like I said in the previous part of this video, it's the longer it stays in your body, the higher your chances are of it developing into cancer. And studies are very different. I've read and watched so many studies, videos, podcasts, read articles. They're kind of all over the place, but what seems to be consistent is leaving the ADH in your body, ADH in your body pretty much ups your chances of getting cancer. So we're gonna get it out. My gosh, my brain is not working right now. My surgery will be scheduled for April 10th. So it's in like a couple weeks. I'm hoping that my job can allow me to telework, because I'm able to use my arms, right? The doctors want me at home. They want me resting. No, not too much walking, no exercising, no doing, all the things I normally do. But I'm able to still work. So I'm hoping and praying that the captain of our code will allow me to telework, because that would be wonderful. I don't know if we can make it without my paycheck. At least we'll have my husband's paycheck, but I don't know if we're going to make it without both of our paychecks, because right now our lives are set up around 2 paychecks, not 1. Anywho, surgery is set up, and from there they take out the bad tissue, the ADH, as well as surrounding tissue, and they test all of it, right? If you do a biopsy, you're taking a little sliver of it. You're not testing the whole area. What I've learned in what I've been watching is that it can be a bunch of cells, and it can be cancer within those cells. But if they're only testing portions, how would they know? So they go in, they take all the cells out, they test it, and he said pretty much what they're looking for is DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ, which is essentially stage 0 breast cancer. I am hoping it's not that. I'd like to keep my tatas. I love them. And I'm very connected, literally. No pun intended, maybe pun intended. I'm literally connected to them, and they've fed my children. Like, I really don't want to lose my breast, but if that's what it takes to save my life or preserve my life, that is what I have to do. As of right now, I'm just living life. I'm literally at the gym right now. I'm going to go work out, because that's not going to stop. Trying to build as much lean muscle mass as I can before the surgery. My mom's gonna fly up, so I'll have some support so my husband can still work, and I'll have someone at home taking care of me for at least 3 weeks. And then they'll test it. It'll take 2 weeks from there, and then we'll know from there if it's DCIS or not, or if it's better or worse than we thought. We just gotta wait. So I'm going to end the video here, and I will definitely bring you guys along with me though when I do the surgery, probably before the surgery, and then of course when I get out, and yeah, take you guys along. And then I'll wait to post that video as well, so I can post that video along with the results in like 2 weeks later. So I hope that made sense. My brain's a little foggy right now, sorry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope it's good news. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Ahui ho.